Gaslighting. It is used to create doubt in the individual's mind about their perceptions, memory, or sanity, thereby gaining control over them. In relationship, an abusive partner may use gaslighting to make the other person feel dependent and insecure, doubting their judgments and memories. If someone is trying to gaslight you, they will do the following. Deny that certain events ever occurred, even when you have clear evidence of them happening. Question your memory and sanity by suggesting you are misremembering things or making them up. Trivialize your feelings and thoughts, telling you that you're overreacting or being too emotional. Love bombing. This is used to overwhelm someone with affection and attention to gain control and influence over them. This method is particularly effective in relationships where one partner may shower the other with gifts, compliments, and intense emotional connections early on to quickly establish a bond that appears genuine and loving. If someone is trying to love bomb you, they will do the following. Rapidly escalate the relationship, pushing for commitments or declarations of love sooner than what is considered normal. Use gifts and grand gestures as a way to establish indebtedness, creating an expectation for you to reciprocate emotionally or otherwise. Triangulation. This is used to create tension and insecurity by introducing a third party into the relationship dynamics. This method is often used to control or manipulate individuals by fostering competition, jealousy, or anxiety. This tactic is commonly employed in personal relationships where a manipulator might bring another person into conversations about their attractiveness, desirability, or competence to make their partner feel less secure and more competitive. If someone is trying to use triangulation against you, they will do the following. Frequently bring up another person in conversations, highlighting their qualities or successes in a way that seems to undermine your own. Use a third person as a means to convey messages or criticisms about you so that the manipulator does not appear directly involved. Make comparisons between you and others, often subtly suggesting that you are lacking in certain areas where the third person excels. Silent treatment. This uses the withdrawal of communication and affection as a means to exert control or inflict punishment. This tactic is commonly used in personal relationships where one partner may suddenly stop communicating, ignoring texts, calls, and even direct conversation to make the other person feel ignored and unimportant. If someone is trying to use the silent treatment against you, they will do the following. Abruptly stop communicating with you without explanation, leaving you to wonder about the reason. Ignore your attempts at conversation, both in person and through other communication channels like texting or emailing. Avoid eye contact and physically distance themselves, creating a barrier that feels difficult to penetrate. Exhibit no apparent distress over the lack of communication, suggesting that the emotional burden of resolution lies solely with you. Negging. This is used to undermine someone's self-confidence through backhanded compliments or light criticisms disguised as jokes. This technique can also appear in professional environments, subtly undermining a colleague's confidence under the guise of constructive criticism or banter. If someone is trying to use negging against you, they will do the following. Make jokes or comments about your appearance, intellect, or capabilities that leave you questioning your self-worth. Frequently point out small faults or mistakes, particularly in situations where praise is more appropriate, shifting your focus to your inadequacies. Compare you to others in subtly derogatory ways, suggesting that you are somehow less competent or attractive. Mirroring. This is used to build trust and rapport quickly by imitating the behaviors, gestures, speech patterns, and even opinions of another person. This psychological tactic leverages the human tendency to trust and feel more comfortable with people who are similar to ourselves. For example, a salesperson might adopt a client's posture, tone of voice, or use similar vocabulary to make the client feel understood and connected. If someone is trying to use mirroring against you, they will do the following. Use the same phrases or language styles you use, often repeating your words as if to affirm agreement. Show an unusually high level of agreement with your opinions and preferences, regardless of the topic. Adapt their interests, hobbies, or even dietary preferences to align closely with yours. Dress in a style that is remarkably similar to your own, or adopt specific mannerisms that are unique to you. Fear of missing out, FOMO. This is used to exploit the anxiety people feel about missing out on exciting or important events, experiences, or opportunities. FOMO is frequently used in marketing, social media, and event promotions, where creating a sense of urgency can drive quick commitments and purchases. For example, advertisements may highlight that a sale is ending soon, or that only a limited number of items are available, prompting consumers to buy immediately to avoid missing out. If someone is trying to use FOMO against you, they will do the following. Highlight the exclusivity of an offer or event, suggesting that only a selected few will have the chance to experience it. Offer last-minute opportunities that seem too good to pass up, pressuring you to act quickly without thorough consideration. The door-in-the-face technique. The purpose of this trick is to initially make an unreasonably large request that is expected to be refused, followed by a smaller, more reasonable request. This technique is often employed in negotiations, fundraising, and sales. For example, a charity might first ask for a large donation, such as $500. When that is declined, they follow up with a much smaller request, like $50, which then seems more reasonable and is more likely to be accepted. If someone is trying to use the door-in-the-face technique against you, they will do the following. React to the refusal with understanding or apparent concession, setting the stage for the second, smaller request. Quickly follow up the refusal with a more moderate request, framing it as a compromise or a more reasonable alternative. Apply a sense of urgency or limited time offer to the second request to encourage a quick decision. Potentially use guilt or obligation as emotional levers, suggesting that agreeing to the second, smaller request is helpful or necessary. Victim playing. This is used to manipulate others by portraying oneself as a victim of circumstances or the actions of others. Victim playing is often observed in personal relationships, workplace dynamics, and even public disputes. For example, in a workplace conflict, an employee might exaggerate the impact of a colleague's actions on their performance, claiming they are being unfairly targeted or overburdened, thereby shifting scrutiny away from their shortcomings. If someone is trying to use victim playing against you, they will do the following. Appeal to your emotions by sharing poignant stories of their struggles, designed to evoke sympathy and support. Deny responsibility for any wrongdoing, redirecting any blame onto others or the situation. Use their portrayed victim status as a shield or excuse for their behavior or failures. The reciprocity trap. This is used to manipulate someone into agreeing to requests they might normally reject by leveraging the social norm of feeling obliged to return favors, gifts, or kindnesses. This tactic exploits the psychological principle that people naturally feel indebted to those who do something for them first. The reciprocity trap is often used in professional environments where a manager or co-worker might offer unsolicited help with your tasks or provide support in a high-stress situation, later expecting you to take on additional work or cover their responsibilities. If someone is trying to use the reciprocity trap against you, they will do the following. Offer gifts or favors without prior requests, creating an immediate sense of obligation. Make requests that are disproportionate to the favors they gave, emphasizing the need to return the kindness. Frequently remind you of their generosity, making you feel continually indebted. Use emotional appeals to highlight the personal effort or sacrifice they made in assisting you. This manipulation is effective because it ties into the deeply ingrained social behaviors and cultural norms regarding reciprocity, making it one of the subtler and psychologically compelling forms of manipulation.